Hi, this is Team Prestare, and Prestare is a DeFi lending protocol. We can offer a lower collateral ratio and can even support under-collateralized loans. So we know that most protocols like Compound or Aave, they are over-collateralized. It is safe, trustless, but still it is very capital inefficient. And some other protocols like Maple Finance or TrueFi, they need to collaborate with some other safer institutions, but lending to them without collaterals includes the risk of bad debt. So for Prestare, we want to balance the security and the efficiency. We have invented a mechanism that can support under-collateralized loans, but still in a trustless way. So how can we achieve that? Actually, it is quite simple. We just based on very simple profit sharing idea. We allow users to borrow more money in the next time if they've made a loan with us before. But notice that in the whole process, we will make sure the money users can take out will not exceed their collateral plus the past earnings we made from them. So the whole system is still over-collateralized to ensure we are still solvent. However, for borrowers, they can enjoy a lower and lower collateral ratio on our protocol. So how can we make it? What's the core difference between us and Compound or Aave? So basically, we have a very different token economics or business model. Like Compound or Aave, they will take like 20% of their interest payment as their reserve. So some protocols take more, but for Compound, the reserve is served as insurance funds and will be used to compensate the liquidity provider if the market crash in the future. But thanks to the over-collateralization principle, they barely use the reserve. So the difference here is for Prestare, we want to utilize the reserve now. It sounds a little bit risky, but we will not give users our reserve directly. We will make a copy of our reserve and call them credit token. And we will make sure one credit token always backed by one stablecoin assets in our reserve pool. And then we give our credit token to our borrowers who have made a contribution to the reserve pool. So you can say in this way, on the one hand, we can automatically differentiate our users' credit worthiness, and everyone have a different collateral ratio. So, and on the other hand, it is also a user retention solution and encouraging borrowing activities. So let me give you a very simple example to show how borrowers interact with our protocol. So if you are a new user and you don't have any credit token, for example, like Bob, you will have the same collateral ratio as on our protocols as you have on other protocols. But the different thing here is after you pay back your loan, and we will give you credit token, and of course the amount of the credit token you receive will will depend on your interest payment. And then in the second time, if you still need a loan and with this credit token, you can borrow more in this time. So you can say from this time, you already have a lower collateral ratio on our protocol than you've got on others. And you can imagine if you keep borrowing and you will get more credit token. So of course, one day you will achieve the under-collateralization eventually. And we also got a risk management system for our credit token. You can see the formula here. This formula determines how much of credit token you need for an under-collateralized loan. You can see from this example, and if you want to borrow additional $400 out, you need about 500 credit token. So it is not always 1-to-1 ratio. So if you have a higher loan to value, you need more credit token. That is, one credit token help you borrow this money as your loan to value increases. And and the credit token is transferable and tradable because it is backed by real capital. So we also have a credit token redemption scheme to protect our users if the credit token experience an exploit. So here we allow users use one credit token to redeem $0.6 of our stablecoin, and the price of and if the price of the credit token is attacked, so in this case, the reserve pool will not drain out, and we can retain 14% of the credit token reserve, and it will also stable the credit token price. So okay, so the credit token is the main point of our credit system, and we also have another system we call it is a soul bond token. So this is non-transferable and includes more information about your transaction history. For example, if you ever default on some other protocols or on our protocols, it will damage your credit score, and the credit score will influence your credit token's utility. So in other words, your collateral ratio will increases even though you have the same amount of the credit token if you have default history. So yeah, and then we also have some other improvements. So first, we have the classification system on every coin by their risk profile. So the initial collateral ratio would be very different among different coins. And if your collateral is a riskier asset, but you want to borrow a safer asset, you need to pay the interest premium. And then the interest premium will compensate our LP. So our liquidity providers can choose their counterparty's risk and adjust their asset allocation by their risk appetite. So if a risky coin experienced an exploit, it would have only impact on the corresponding pool, say the TSA pool. So in some sense, it is also fair because the TSA pool enjoys a higher yield because of the risk premium. Oh, not risk because of the interest premium. And for the liquidation part, in the version 1, we will use the common liquidation tools. That is, we will introduce the outside liquidators. But in the version 2, we plan to create internal swap market to benefit our liquidity providers and also prevent the MEV. So, and here PRS is our governance token. Here we introduce the V token economics from Curve and distribute our revenues to our PRS holders. And here is our tokenomics in this stage. Most of us from HKUST Crypto FinTech Lab. I am a math PhD student, and Pengze is a CS PhD student of this lab. Thomas and Arkad, they are research assistants of this lab. We are all full-time work on this project. And we also have an experienced industry developer, and he is a senior algorithm expert at Alibaba and had over 10 years experience in data mining. And Mars is our smart contract developer. He also worked on Metafa as a smart contract developer, and we are also supported by Dora Hex Grand DAO and Hobby Incubator. And this is our roadmap. Now we are in the fundraising phase, and we already deployed our smart contract on our private chain, and we plan to launch on the testnet in the Q1 of this year, and launch on the mainnet in the Q2 of this year. We target to some layer 2 protocols like Scroll, ZK-Sync, or some OP rollups. This is our Twitter and email. Feel free to contact us if you're interested.